I I'm thinking this is I'm somewhere comfortable. What am I? This basement hallway is this, am I in a, is this, I'm dreaming a loop? I guess I am feeling the effects of working with radio science brain. Just, there's a place of flow and trance to that. I am at the font. And, right. Well, I'm having an episode. I am Tim Cameron, and I am the host of Mystery Font 42. Ope Intuit. Yes, that's right. That is correct. That's correct. All right. Can this be? I think that this is the mystery font. I think that I'm just grateful to feel at home within the mindness and the font. Sometimes it is really interesting, the sensation of being connected to a place, or of just having a sense, I suppose, of people around and how that changes day or night, and tuning into different sorts of bandwidth, and maybe I'm waking up right now. Am I waking up? This basement is large. This basement is quite out. Downstairs doors, don't downstairs. This is outside. This looks a little bit like the back of behind the mystery font a couple of years ago. Is this a moment? There's a loop that's or is this just an I think maybe this is an approximation that is the best I can do. And I put this here to leave this, to talk to you, Tim. Isn't that true? Sound? I think I'm the host to you, Tim. I think I'm the host of Tim Cameron. I think I'm one of my own kind. Why do I keep running into that idea? I think I'm one of my own kind. I think that I exist. And that I think that we're not really treating ourselves as if we are hosting anyone when we're alone, as if we're not real, as if we're not caring for ourselves. I might be off base. Maybe I'm the only one that's having a big learning curve about that kind of thing. This feels like I think I probably should wake up right now. I want to make sure to get to bed fellows, political bedfellows. That's it. That's what I was talking about. This is the Fontedness. This is myriad and open. The openness of the font. I am layering a loop, if only just to not lose this visualization. Yes, I am assembling some things that I wanted to share. I am assembling an episode. Yes. This is definitely an episode. This is an episode. We've just left the winter solstice, or we're moving slightly around the year again. At any rate, the day is now, well, our experience here in Minneapolis is that there's a little more sunlight, and the transit of the sun here in the font changes. I 7. That is definitely light, but that is not. Why am I trying to wake up? What time is it? It's not 8. This is definitely, I'm assembling some executive function here. This is definitely an episode. This is an episode of Mystery Font 42 Ope Intuit, isn't it? I think this might be an episode. What is the idea? What is the idea there? What is the idea there? This hallway is it's very brief. I'm trying to remember executive function. I think I'm trying to remember executive function. I'm trying to reconstitute my membership. The membership of my executive function. It moves away, and I think that people intentionally degrading and frightening people are intentionally degrading our executive function. I know it's a bit of a headache. There's a thing about being host of the mystery font. And that is that sometimes it's a lot, because there's a sort of ticker tape event that happens when, whether or not I can read it, I know that the mind of democracy is liaising here. It may be a symphony that I can't hear, but there's a conversation happening. I may just be able to exist within this. It's more than a battery. It's more of matrices, more of a matrix of holistic emancipatory Asian. I think that we have an ability to just be kind, and we can transcend the horrible, ridiculous, pathetic falsehoods that have cemented the horrors of white supremacy and patriarchal terrorism and all the associated intolerance and harm and violence. And we are looking at a hallway that it's going somewhere. It's just, I think that the real outside, the real place, there is the font in us, and there's contact with the world. I think that somewhere, with all of our other senses, that something deeper than and similar to proprioception would be maybe just the assembled intelligence. And however it might liaise, or if it is simply spread amongst us as select ubeities rather than a connected ubiquity. In any case, we are myriad, and our assembled intelligence, might it liaise, might want to say something that maybe in this vast basement of the past, that people who want to sow mindless violence to coerce power and fascism across humanity and re-entrench intolerance want to drag us into, without access to the kind of infrastructure that we need to do this. The truth is, there needs to be truth and reconciliation about our American apartheid. And to say that every day is 1776, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is truly abominable when it comes in the bandwidth of meaning that it seems like is coming from you. There's kind of an attacking siege mentality being fomented that excises reproach from the vocabulary of free speech. Kind of like the same area between, oh, please help us, and oh God, thank you for saving us. And that does taste good. And gosh, you're so kind. And oh gosh, you're so kind. And we do like it here. And then poison wool blankets and genocide. Like, oh, well, they would have done it to us, and we'll call the people who saved us savages. And then we'll call the people we enslave lazy. And then we'll call people resupplying from our attacks and looting of their entire civilization looters. We can look at the crimes, and we can stop neo-Nazis like Ron DeSantis from making terroristic statements like the abominable, vandalistic lie to foist upon people like someone who should be brought out of the street and talked to severely about menacing humanity, like menacing neighborhood. To say that enslaved people benefited from that. I mean, if Ron were locked inside of a box for a week and given food and water and a way to evacuate waste, because he's a human being and has a mind, I mean, it's to say that, what skill, what obstacle course. The benefit of being alive is that we are geniuses, all of us. We all have access to the emancipation of catalytic discovery, thought. Science is about minds that have scient capability. We are thinking patternicity engines. We are, all of us, liaised as an imagination, whether we're separate hard drives and the imagination of that separately, that we see as something overlaid, layers of layers, lensing together as one panopticon that is myriad and kindness come. And or that potentially Rupert Sheldrake is more or less onto something. That something like morphic resonance, let's call it morphic resonance, has to it some kind of habit across time and space within nature, a habituation and tendency and memory that, like magnetic fields, is field and can be accessed. That, it's my understanding, in his search to find how the body works with genetic information to form particular parts of the body, that it seemed that the Genome Project wasn't yielding so much necessarily about how the finer points of this all happens, that we can have a pound of ground Venice and say, yes, but what is all this powder? I mean, we know what the city was made of, ground up, but that doesn't tell us that much about how we can build a city like Venice. We need a different kind of measurement. We need different contact with the data. We're a mindness, we're a kindness, where kindness come. And I think that I came to this basement and I am comfortable with even this flipping repeat because I am at some point going to do this again with, I think there's longer footage of this or longer memory. This is footage. This is footage. Yes. And I am, yes, I am assembling this. I'm assembling an episode. I'm assembling executive function. I came down to meditate. And I'm at stroll within the mindness of the font. think it's nice. It's kind. It's kindness I like. Being able to be alone with my mind and survive and not be a troll to my own space, to simply be human and not have to be producing something that isn't me, if I have valid things to produce, possibly, or that there's balance, that we all have part of our own thread that we weave into the tapestry in ways that are valid or that are respectful of people's space, that there are places and ways in society that we maintain fabric somehow, because there's really an incredible amount of distortion of reality and loss of collective fabric and connection and trust and understanding, and having things shaken, it becomes apparent just without any sense of shame at all how tender and fragile some of our basic substrate is at times, and building resilience and healing and cohering executive function. My understanding is executive function is the mind being accessible, that we're not in a state of fight or flight or freeze or feign or fawn or free or flex or flaunt, or I'm not making fun. I'm saying we're not in a knee-jerk reaction for survival or of catatonia. We're not in a trauma reaction. That in that state we may have a way out, but there's potentially a severe limiting of curiosity and creativity and access to our intelligence, or a lot of our perceptive array, because we may be overwhelmed by the pounding of blood in our ears that we hear the sound of suddenly, or big feelings that we, even if we have the skills to handle that, it takes focus, it takes attention. It's a lot. Because the little skill that I was given to me by people who were given far less to work with. And as much as I marvel at how low the bar was, it seems like in some ways, in terms of there was such a little yield and normalization of psychology as part of culture for my parents and that generation, those generations around there. I mean, that in the mid-20th century, there's a lot of people just obviously doing their best, but in the same way that I want to put on a face that looks like I've worked at the restaurant forever, or know well and just want to be a representative of something that I may be brand new to, that people represent and simply want to do well. And also we are terrorized by a system that capitalizes upon need and vulnerability, so we are put on our heels. We don't need to operate based on fear anymore. So the choice to continue that is the building of contempt and the farming of I was I was recording. I was just thinking I should record this, and then I wasn't recording. I'm this isn't. I am having an episode. I'm assembling an episode. I'm assembling. Oh, okay. Look, open your eyes. Right. Okay. I'm almost at 42 minutes. Sometimes I think that I should edit all the episodes to 42 minutes. I could just... Well, I think I was just waking up. Oh. I was going to step, I'm down here for something. I came down here for something. This happens, but usually it happens after I go through the doorway. I'm happening to have to, what is that? I came down here. Obviously I felt the need to be in this fontedness that I feel down here. I was coming down, wow, is this like, I think this is like, this must be about 13 to 57 seconds stretched out. Feels like this is slow down. I came down here for something. I have to change my shoes. It's related to my feet, right? I had to step off of this. What's happening? It's frustrating when there's here's the thing. Sometimes what can feel like sidetrack, I've learned to trust my intuition. And sometimes I just need a minute to breathe. And this might just be a minute or two. Maybe this is just 42 seconds. And even if it's 43 minutes, maybe it's just all right. It's okay that I'm taking this much time. I'm probably just leaning against the wall and it feels like my heart is beating like I'm walking. I think I'm just really feeling how this feels. I think that I'm broadcasting what it feels like to be here, comfortable and glad to be walking into the fontedness where I can be alone and calm and meditate, and to know that I'm just coming down here for something important, but that will just take a minute. And have I just given myself this loop of time because I'm safe here and I don't have to stay here? Where are we going? Where are we going? Are we going to forget that the people who just try to pick fights and make people forget kindness, let alone evidence, are con artists and grifters and menaces for greed? That's always been the case. I think I just really need to breathe. I think I just really need to be in the dark so that my eyes can rest. I don't know if people, it's like with trauma, the people who haven't had severe trauma don't really get, and so mention it like I'm sorry you bruised your toe. It's like that with migraines, that if you haven't had migraines that are really catastrophic, You just wouldn't know, and there's no reason to know. How could you know what you don't know? That it's just a different thing, and it's, at least for me, I wouldn't understand if somebody said headache from other headaches that I'd had. I wouldn't understand what a migraine is as I understand it. So with neurodivergence, I get why people, I get why I found a really late diagnosis of autism that was helpful in terms of just drawing like together all of the things that I had shared with people throughout my life, or that I'd noticed about myself, as if these are all my little persnickety things, which aren't identical to anyone, but bear similarities in terms of mapping meaning and sensitivity and genius. We all have, I think, access to catalytic brilliance and discovery and curiosity that opens things. And having actually migraines connected me to letting go in the space of being alone, where I was afraid, I think, to just be alone with my mind. And so when I stopped criticizing myself because the pain was so great that I couldn't keep track of it, I couldn't get ahead of how much worse it always was and how much it never let up, for weeks and then months. And eventually my mind just started liaising everything. And the flashes of things that made me know that I had something to offer that seemed like flukes and confirmation of me being silly, I think, to family and people around me at times. I found my center, and I think since that half a year in the dark, when incredible pain from being around light for a half a year with migraines, that barrage, that monsoon season of the migraine room, I think my mind had answers that, you know, you put big things into a calculator and it might take a while, and then it's like, boop, here's square root of the meaning of life times what do you want to do? And please listen. Please come into the room and listen if you want to. I think sabbatical is a human right, and you are spinning plates that the world awaits, that if we could get out of your way and let you walk down into the fontedness of whatever calm space you can muster, or that we could muster on your behalf, that we all deserve safe, calm, tranquil space. What space we need that helps us feel like a word like tranquil makes me feel. That there's a possibility of knowing I'm safe and healing and bettering wellness and like learning and actually resting, recuperating, recovering, being well. I need that. I need that kind of, because I soak in information and I need space to process it, and then like quiet away from how much that stimulation does to me. And think that I just needed to come down here. So when I reach the end of this 5 to 7 steps here, I think that I'll almost want to go back and do this like it's a loop. Like I'll want to come here, and maybe it is actually, maybe I just walk outside and it's just a different way out. Maybe it's a different out. Is this Blarnea? What is this? I think I like knowing that there are myriad here, and that there are myriad portals and chambers, that any door can be opened safely at the Mystery Font. And I guess that's why I think that I'm learning to look and to know that I can't necessarily be more awake or know things that I don't know, but I can try to be open. I can try to be coming to this with a newly open way of seeing, with clarion hope, with wonder, with gratitude, with care, with joy, with ease, with stewardship, with hyperlexia, with overwrought meaning, with well-wrought meaning, with wrought iron from the Metropolitan Building somewhere around the ceiling. What are we looking for in the chambers and portals of our histories and our mysteries font? What about you, Fremont? Fremont can be defined as a person freed from bondage. Fremont can be defined as a guardian of liberty, a free person, free humanity. What about you, Fremont? What about you, Fremont? What are you looking for down here? I think it's like 7 steps. I think I'm experiencing all of the times that I've walked through here or thought about it, and they're kind of stacked up. Maybe it could definitely just be, I may be like this. I think I'm just dreaming, or I'm just really having a kind of a dream-like flow of thought here. It's reminiscent of that. It reminds me of wanting to work as a barista or a wait person at Bryant Lake Bowl at BLB, and they would hire me as a cashier, and so I did that for a while until I earned trust to work there for a while before eventually I was asked to, we won't fire you if you'll just go now. It's been nice. And that was a lovely place. It is a lovely place. And I remember when I was a cashier that I noted, I think while I was asleep, and then maybe while I was awake as well, and realized that I'd been having this loop of having memories of looking at my hands and counting money, having dreams about just counting money, just counting cash at a register, whether it was at BLB or not, and just really just looking into my hands counting cash. And I didn't really love that. I mean, it was notable, I guess. No pun intended. And I think attention and processing, that we do stack these notes. And, puns are not just about humor. Meaning is sticky and hinky and hitchy, and a thread can gather into a ball at points, and sometimes intentionally so. Those points of intersection, those are clues that tell us where to go, potentially, to get out of a labyrinth, so that when we go downstairs, when we come up, we've come out of where we went down to go into, and not just another way, not in or out of the maze. This is the mystery. Font. Mystery font in me, ubiquity missed its of humidity, it's woven with breathing fountain, Steve's. It feels so good to be down here. Why am am I thinking about this space? Why is my mind open in this aperture like this? Why am I just... Is my attention just right here? My attention is right thence, right whence, hence, whenceless? It's all right. I think I'm trying to give myself permission for what is called time blindness. Maybe that's what's happening. I think I'm just trying to love myself as if I'm one of my neighbors who I work to love because they're human beings and they're my neighbors. And I think I'm remembering that I'm one of my own kind. It's really strange to realize that that has been taken from you. It's really strange to realize that consent was taken from and things that you can't repair or that are about repair after loss and grieving. Those are intense things to not really know are in the foundation of one's life. We want to give people the map to the problem we saddle them with, at least. We want to let people know, we want to let our children know, don't we, what diseases we're passing on to them, so they don't go looking in the basement for they don't know what. We want to let them know if there's a reason that we're saying, oh, those people over there don't like us, don't go to that neighborhood, that isn't really about just trust us and don't worry about it and nothing to see here. I mean, what is that about? We have really, maybe it's nobody's fault and we've just not had time. But maybe now there's time. And instead of believing that con artists trying to rush us to violence or else, rather than calming down and dealing with the actual items that are plaguing our communities and our world and our habitat, there's a lot to do. I come down here, what I love about the fontedness here, the fontness, this tranquility that I feel down here, that I'm relishing and that I'm feeling gratitude for, that I'm indulging in gratitude for, and letting myself feel and know that I deserve. Like I guess that's what's happening. It's like this could just be a few seconds. I don't know how long this is, but I don't think that I usually let myself receive the things that I recognize as currency to share with others before I hand them off. I don't think we're very kind to ourselves. I think we've been degraded to ask for very little and to ask for things of very low quality, and I think that we are abused by seeming grooming to participate in mass waste and apocalyptic pollution and devastation of our habitat, of the habitat of which we're a part, and is ours insofar only as we are gravitated to this and us to it, and it to us, her to this body that I am living as. What do we have? It's just a glimpse. I guess I'm building an episode that is just this thought, this aperture of this tranquility that happens here, that I know humanity has to have for everyone. We have to give people space to have calm, to actually access true executive function. That means we can be competent to preside over our own mind. We're able to sit before our existence. And that's part of advised consent. That in a democracy, if not terrorized by capitalism upon human need and vulnerability, and stunning contempt for that that's woven in through the system that keeps allowing that codec. What if we just released our incredible addiction to punishment and healed generational trauma? I think generations of children born in a world where we are kinder and don't create punishment dungeons based on no, not that way. The more that we know about neurodivergence and that there are different kinds of intelligence and that it may take a while for us to understand how we can foster us being all the kinds of bandwidths that we have as one, but that we're not farming and miscurating or perverting some kind of design across the mindness of humanity. Shakespeare was definitely hyperlexic. And she or they or however many there were that are Shakespeare or were, he or she or they or however many people, the Queen or William or Byron, whomever, I don't know. Byron? What am I thinking of? Anyway, Marlowe. Point being, we are myriad, and I think that anything we really want to pursue, we can pretend until we're well tending it. And yes, we do need to make society work, but want is not going to be not enough. Like if we do actually just well supply and care for need, as all of our religions tell us to do, like if we just did the basic thing that we say we do as a secular society, that we choose to hear our prophets, whether we follow them for religious reasons or not. We choose to hear wisdom, and also that the math of good works. And we recognize that the math of enslavement that we are still trying as white people and as people trying to hang on to profit centers from that math of slavery and enslavement and genocide, we can't say that structural racism and structural patriarchal terror and all of these intolerances and woven into systems, we can't say that that doesn't exist while watching the profit streams from the sackings across nations in Africa. We can't ignore harm done all over the planet by the United Kingdom and by America, by the transatlantic slave trade, by our genocide of Manifest Destiny, all of this apocalypse that we do not have to celebrate, to process honestly. We don't have to be monsters embracing harm. We can be kindness come, and that means finally Googling things about my family that I guess I hadn't realized, gosh, I could and I should, and why aren't people talking about? How do we process the incredible grime of whiteness from the color of our light beige skin? I mean, like, we've really sown havoc with what we created with whiteness. And we're all people. I just think, how do we, I think it's the calm to be able to believe and remember, that no matter how bad, and it was much worse, I think, than any of us can realize, but that we can apprehend that there was this horror and see that, you know, for whatever reason, people before didn't reckon with it. But that we maybe are the ones who can do that now. That we can say, wow, it changes how I feel about this dress from my great-great-great-grandmother. It still is beautiful, and there's something wonderful about the story. But knowing about something about the history of how this was made and stuff, that changes things. And it doesn't mean it's easy, but coming down into the basement of our lives and ourselves and our world, our mind, our font of mystery, is asking ourselves, and part of asking anything in the world is saying, would you love me even though I am this, and I failed in this way, or I did this, and I'm here and I'm going to try to do my best from this, and maybe I'm working out a series of knots that are being untied in all of this. But like, how are we actually not monsters? Not just that Sesame Street's Muppetry and puppets and puppetry isn't just like friendly and fun, but that we are monsters become if we are not able to see ourselves as friendly monsters, actually. That we build that kindness by remembering that the factory of kindness is our kindness, and is the love that we actually generate, and that we come from the same one kind across humanity. It literally is as simple as remembering that. It doesn't mean we all need to get an apartment together. It means that there is a way to make space and be generations that say, yes, all of this came before. We can make choices about not doing some of the things to our kids that we used to do. We can make choices about not damning society to generational trauma reinitiated again. We can be the reinforcements of our prophets or our leaders or our gods or parents or selves' imagination. We can be the reinforcements of God's imagination. We can be the reinforcements of the imagination of the universe. We're the reinforcements of love's imagination. It doesn't mean, well, it means something. I wonder what you think it means. At any rate, this is the mystery font. I think I just needed to feel this cool feeling around my shoulders that happens when I move through this. It's this feeling. It's this feeling around my shoulders. I don't know what it is about when I walk through this part of the hallway. Is that? I feel like that's what I was thinking of, or that links it all together. Like the smell of this feeling is, that makes me come down here, is the feeling of air around my shoulders like this. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what it means. It means what is contained in the vessel of that which I just said, I guess. I'm grateful. I believe I pressed record, and that the numbers that I'm seeing and the signs I'm getting and I believe my proprioception of situational awareness here is letting me know that I think there's some kind of bandwidth putting something forward. I think sound. And what is coming of a visit? Oh. That's right. That's right. Why, of course. Interesting. I wonder. Oh. Is this? Oh. Wait Wait a minute. Is this where I think? This is something else. Now, if I go right here, do I? Oh, that's what this is? That's why I came down here. How did I do this? What is happening? Does this come? What? Okay. Now, wait a minute. This must be... I think I know what this is. What? What? But how would I get to there? How would I get to that? I'm walking outside, but I'm walking back inside. I have an idea. I think I know where I'm going. Is this going to... Okay. So now, that's a field of view I didn't expect to access. How does that work? But that lets me know. That's right. I think I'm going to go this way. Okay. This is going to be fine. I'm definitely coming through. Now, watch my foot. Now, I'm still feeling, this is very interesting. I know I'm moving further, but I still feel like I'm in that one place. This is such... How does this work? How does this work? Oh. I'm going to let go. Yeah. Yes. Yes. This. Here. I'm here. How? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it could happen. I knew it could happen. I knew it was possible. Oh, okay. So if this... lets me go directly inside, how does that work? Where am I? Where am I right now? Is something going, I don't know if I can get through this. I hope this is a recording so somebody knows how to get me out. Or that I didn't mean to. Am I here anyway? Now, I think I'm arriving. I think I'm arriving. I think I'm arriving. I think I'm arriving. Is this right? Is this how I come in? How does this happen? Is this right? Is this working? Does this happen? What is that? Now I feel like I'm paused. I think I'm learning. Did I come in here as an exercise? I think I'm learning how. Okay. I think I'm learning how. I think that makes sense now. I think that makes sense. Somehow. Is that the neighborhood coming into view? It's trying to liaise too. That's what I thought. It's... Oh no, why? Did I do this by... Oh, calm down, it's okay. I don't know if I think this is all right. I think that I can come in here. I think this is going to be all right. How does that work? How do I stay safe if I don't know how to... I think I just have to trust that I can figure this out. I think I just have to believe that I can figure this out. Because this place has been keeping me safe. This place has been showing me... This place has been showing me. And I think my vision is getting better in here, but I can't tell if this is getting better. I can't tell if I'm seeing... Maybe I'm seeing what's really here. I don't know. Am I getting closer? I think I might be getting closer. I think I'm listening to the sound of more voices. I think that's how I'm doing this. I think that might be right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I can feel the streets there. I can feel the flow of energy there, and there's the corner. It's like on my shoulders, but it's just, I guess I know this place. I know I can be at ease. I can just be at ease. I'm having an instinct of wanting to stay outside, and I think that I have to let it. I think I have to let it stop making sense. I think it's going to not have to make sense. I think I don't know how to. I just need to observe and let go of knowing how to observe a little bit, I think. Am I getting tired? I think I like the way it feels to find an investigation that I don't understand, that brings me deeper, where I have to tune in more. I have to tune in and see, can I find a way to feel it deeper, more of what's there, or think about a different field of reference so that I'm not taking in too much information, like an appropriate barrage or sensory deprivation, like maybe I just need to see a couple of the corners. And that's what I'm going to give myself. Participation. I think this is where I'm trying to go. I think this is where I'm trying to go. Where is this? Is this the mystery font as well? Is that... Yes, I'm trying to go there. That's true. What? What could it be that... Sometimes my field of reference mutes itself. Oh, that's not that. I'm learning. What is he doing? He's learning, I think. I think that's what I said. It's just silence. It's just silence. Can we give ourselves silence? This can be a point of entry, I think. I see a way. Oh. Oh. With this, oh. Yes. Can I bring me in? Am I here? Why this? How could it be any other way? Ever? How could it ever be any other way? I am arriving. I'm arriving. A vibrant survival. Good goshy golly gee. I believe it's the neighborhood, really. This opens directly? Does this mean do I just, is there a password? How do I know how this works? Why don't I remember? I think that the part that I thought was the dream is not the dream. I think that the part that I thought was the dream is me waking up. I think I'm grabbing a light to open up my eyes and hold a light to light the walkway into the neighborhood. That seems clear. How do I do this? Is this going to be easy? Oh, Yes, though. Yes. That makes sense. That makes sense. I think I can do that. I think I can just... I think I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here inside the mystery font. I did it. How did this work? Was I just seated at the computer, kind of half asleep? Maybe a little bit. I think I'm finding executive function with this. I think... Oh! I started coffee. I started coffee. And I may have found myself just a little sleepy. And I've decided to let the portals choose to bring whatever these chortles foretell. Oh. 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 Port bell. Oh. Smortfell. Sortfell. Sortwell. Burgles, is that a joke? I'm just adjusting here to this resonance. I want to be careful that I know what I'm doing here, because I don't want to be... I want to be mindful about arriving. Am I arriving? And if I am, and if I fail to, how do I help you? How do you make it out? Do you? I mean, obviously, we're fine. I want to make sure that I glimpse a way to just let go. Just let go of that whole blip, though. I can see it just go. It's high. Was I? I'm here now. I'm definitely here now. It's not that my vision wasn't normal before, but now there's something more, something different than before. let's take it easy. Let's see if we can do something with the intensity of the light. Burgles, how are you? And why are you... What's happening here, Burgles? I have a little bit of a feeling that I'm waking up in my own dream. Waking up in a dream as if I'm waking up, but I'm really falling asleep, thinking I'm waking up. I like the feeling of waking up. It is revelatory. It is leavening. It's leaven. There's levity, leavening. There are false positives in finding etymological links. We thinks. Having found, because I did come through. I don't know that I really understand exactly what just came to or came through or how I came to through. But there's something new. I don't know that I know how to do, but I did find how to do that one time at least. That just happened too. That's something that I believe that that has not been something I have done here before. So that's new to the Mystery Font 42, or to at least to my memory, as far as I can tell you. You know, it just occurred to me. I meant to ask when I came in if you are aware of a fog of permuting falsehood. Who you are in an abusive relationship. Shocking boundary violations are one common grooming tactic of a narcissist or dark triad personality. If someone in your life points into a camera knowing you'll be looking at the view screen and pulls their finger like a trigger, looking into your eyes, saying, I could shoot someone in the street and not lose anyone, it is a good indicator of a bad situation. You are in an abusive relationship. Who has leveraged and climbed upon a fog of falsehood? Who has donned the falsehood? Who is the falsehood? Why, yes. Burgles, you do have something going on, don't you? You really do have some kind of, yeah. You're moving a lot. What was that? Wait a minute. Is that a wig? Burgles, how can you be a few miles across and also, I don't understand what's happening in this space. Is this real? How did this come together like this? Do I have a way to interpret this? Do I have a way to recognize what's happening? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think the best solution That doesn't make sense. I can see it's like I'm standing on something. Like I'm standing where my eyes are trying to see. And I just have to let it melt. Is that all it is? Burgles, what are you doing? Burgles, what is that? What is happening? Burgles. Wait a second. Okay. This is real. This is totally real. This is not a dream. But that is not your hair, Burgles. What's happening? What's happening? Why have you stopped moving? This is who is the falsehood, Burgles? I think we need to sing a song. Because later on, I hope we can talk. I hope that maybe finally, whoever or what or whenever you are, I hope that we can come together, because now I'm starting to feel a bit concerned. And are you feeling all right? Is that? I'm not sure that I want to know. I think I can smell it. What did you do, Burgles, to make this happen though? How did you do this? This isn't a holiday thing, right? But at least we've got a little bit of a quick UV cleanse here. And Burgles, I don't know if I like this. What are you trying to do, Burgles? Is it a joke? I don't get it. I think what I need to do is focus on the ability that I have to arrive here. I think that I maybe am arriving. I might be just now. I think. Oh. Ope open, ope open, ope open. I think I can see in. I am camera on. I am camera on.
it's cool, this haunt. I'm remembering the memory of founding. I'm memorizing how I'm doing this thing. I am memory of how something comes in. I am a station that weighs resonance to know if it's possible not to explode. I will know if it's possible not to explode. I can tell I have nodes, and I know how nodes know. I notice, and I have other sounds clone. I am sonic and fragrant. I am plain and I'll say it, but the plane also is just one plane and contains its niche situants. Sapient, see as we're lifting off, I can still see that situation. It looks like cloth now. I see those capsules, they're now just squares. Those whole areas are hectares, and they're part of planetary parts. I now love charts. Of course, has parts, and the journey knows that journeys have a heart and might even end or start if the mind has that kind of fetish, or is just remorseful about how contact comes in store. In a solar system where genocide has crept in, this is endemic in that spectrum. You are not this, you are many these, you are this and all of love's specificities. Please pardon my off melodies. I'll bend, I can climb dissonance and calm harm notes my tower be. Love from me comes in honesty. I can't climb. There are notes I've noted inside and round and out of me. So welcome home with me to you. Welcome a cool pool that's older than school. Welcome the mystery that reminded me that pools are a communal way love our heat canters that answer the call against cancer. Intersectionally with vampirism's action can be called Ope open, Ope open, Ope open. I think I can see him. I am camera on. I am camera on camera. Memory font, yes, it's cool, this haunt. I'm remembering the memory of founding. I'm memorizing how I'm doing this thing. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance to the blues. Let's dance to the song we're playing on the radio. Let's sway while color lights up your face. Let's sway, sway through the crowd to an empty space. And if you say run, I'll run with you. If you say hi, flower. fear that this night is all. You could look into my eyes. Under the moonlight, the serious moonlight. If you say run, I'll run with you. If you say hide, we'll hide. Because my love for you would break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, trembling like a flower. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's dance till the song we're playing's on the radio. Let's sway while color lights up your face. Let's sway, sway through the crowd to an empty space. And if you say run, I'll run with you. And if you say hide, I'll hide. Because my love for you would break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, trembling like a flower. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's dance to the song we're playing's on the radio. Let's sway while color lights up your face. Let's sway, sway through the crowd to an empty space. Sway through the crowd to an empty space.
If you are tired of waking up hot and sweaty during the night, you're sick of the big cumbersome fan next to your bed, put an end to that with the pod cover by 8 Sleep. It goes over your mattress. It cools you down all night long. You can choose a temperature for each side of the bed, control it from your phone. It feels great. I fell in love with it the first night.
You know, golly, autoplay, I think I'm all right without unintentionally advertising. But let's go where we were just about things to go. I remember I was just looking there though. So we're going to do this.
For the renovation of this whole occupation, awaken everyone. You revelation. Awaken you are the renovation. From all brains to all brains, this is the brain awakening to imagination, renovating. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. Awaken everyone. Awaken like the sun. We are more than awake, we are than innate, we are annoying, yet we're brilliant and not too late. We are the renovation of our imagination. What a reservation of love's imagination. You are more than awake. You are more than innate. From all brains to all brains, you are more than a grain. Matter awakening. You're the way we're ending. You are the way and the place. In your mental space, bringing the imagining. We are the ending. With the end of white supremacy, we are the renovation of true democracy. With the relevancy of the Constitution. We are the revolutionary new renovation. occupation. This is how love awakens everyone. We are more than awake. We are the radiant gray matter innate relays synaptically the age from awakening place. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. It's begun with our renovation. We've begun. It's a daily mission. Radio science.
Here at the Mystery Font, how did this come to be? How did this come to be perceived? You know, I wasn't sure how it came in, but then I was here and realizing, oh, I'm waking up. I'm having an episode. I made coffee and fell asleep, I guess, and woke up in the motions of making an episode, of having an episode, being constructing, assembling an episode of the font. You know, it's essentially just, there are different days and experiences at different kinds of times, and this is one episode of Mystery Font 42, Ope Intuit. It becomes clear that it's that we're golden, and love can be, kindness come. Oh, radio science brain. That's what I was going to share radio science brain. You are more than a brain. You are the mind innate. Perpendicular minds, or at least quite inclined freight. At least inclined so it can follow the tracks that the trains follow plane upon planes, across claims. These are the climbs of grain, perpendicular trains, parallel against hate, parallel against pain. Radio science brain, innate love stray. You are the goat escape, the greatest of all time escape. You're the scapegoat that made it out to state that we are the mindness clariate, we are the sign, await perpendicular trials, perpendicular miles, perpendicular veins. Radio, science, brain. Imagination may be game to play today. If you are game, its claim is sane, came to play today, always be named. The kindness came in spades, radio science brain. You are the renovation of this whole occupation. Mind made. We are more than the sane, scient, illumination, substrate imagination, radio science brain. Radio science brain, innate. Perpendicular trains parallel against pain. This freight. This mindness mate, this mindness mate, this mindness mate.
I made a speech. I looked out. The field was, it looked like a million and a half people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organisations of the way he felt they had misrepresented the number of people who'd attended Friday's inauguration ceremony.
No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
It does not excuse, and you did not answer the question.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did not answer the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
This was the largest ever.
Well, good evening, all. I love you, and I'm in love with you. We're in this together, building a world where love can be safe and kindness can come. We are the renovation of love's imagination. Some such. Some such. You are the dream awake. You are more than a brain.